Hey, Katie.
Hey, Katie. Oh my God. Are we really doing this?
We are. Welcome to Higher Downloads, where two moms, entrepreneurs, and spiritual seekers are getting real about doing our best to live life in alignment.
Yeah, and by getting real, we mean the raw, unfiltered voice memo version of ourselves.
And you know what we're really obsessed with lately: higher
hmm
downloads.
You know that moment when clarity arrives seemingly from nowhere? That's it. That's the higher download from your highest self.
Exactly, because we know everyone has the ability to access their own higher downloads. So nothing is off limits here. Everything in the wheel of life, from career, spirituality, motherhood, relationships.
Yep, everything. And really through the lens of higher consciousness and joy. And we have to share our higher downloads too, right? So grab your coffee
Or your crystals, or whatever you need to have fun with us.
and get ready to tune in to your own wisdom channel because receiving higher downloads means you can live your life in HD.
Higher Downloads starts now. Welcome back to Higher Downloads.
Oh my gosh, welcome back. And if you're joining us visually, you can know that we're back. It's just we're in a new space.
We've got some fresh new setting to be recording in today. And
Y'all, we're in a studio.
in studio, the Higher Download Studio.
Our studio.
And man, it feels so good.
Okay. So we're like, what topic do we want to cover today? And the only thing that makes sense is because we're in a new space and we were having already live conversation about this all started through voice memos and then in a sauna. And how do we feel like our most fully expressed selves? And this podcast was born. Now we've got 30 something episodes under our belts. We have a team of editors. We have our own studio, and it's been a year. That's it.
That's it. It has been so fun. And I remember us thinking it's so fun to record, but just getting started. We were like, let's just hop on a camera and get started.
Yes.
But the energy was always from us being in person and then carrying forward those conversations. So
Yeah.
this dream of wanting to do it in person more often. So we did the one goal setting one
We
in
did.
person.
We did. Yeah.
And that was fun.
It
So
was very
fun.
fun. Yeah.
So, but here we are. We designed it.
We're live. Look. Yeah, it's not two separate screens.
No. So, yay. I'm excited to see what
Yeah.
it's going to be like getting set up in the studio long term.
Yeah, so bear with us as we figure out the new muscle of what this is going to feel and look like. But it is a clearly natural evolution of this dream that I think keeps taking shape and is its own meta of like what it feels like to be in flow and what it feels like to take aligned action.
Yeah.
Like we talk about these things and then we're doing them, and then the podcast in and of itself is its own.
It's its own outlet for practice.
Yeah.
It's the literal exercise of just taking it one step at a time in every moment, seeing how you feel, and then what's the next creative evolution
Yep.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about this before, but creativity I've really started to understand it so differently. I used to even categorize myself as not creative.
Same.
Really?
Yes, which makes no sense.
Right. I would never say that about you.
I know.
Well, and then I'm realizing it's about openness to the flow of what's coming. And I feel like I'm in the most aligned state I've ever been in. I don't feel like I need to hide anything from anyone in the world. I'm really proud of the shadow work that I've done and probably more to come. And then you're just like, wait, you look back and all we did was take aligned baby steps, aligned action. We allowed ourselves to be vulnerable. We allowed ourselves to be like, okay, what is Riverside? It's a podcasting software.
How do we even do this? And to feel uncomfortable. I remember how uncomfortable those first few recordings were.
And actually, I wasn't so uncomfortable in the recording. I got really uncomfortable when they started to come out.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, I guess we're supposed to tell people we have a podcast now.
Ooh, that's true. Yeah. Each has their own little
Yeah.
nugget of discomfort. And I even had a little moment of that with the studio. For me, it's just another like spending a little bit more time getting the technology right, investing the time and getting a little bit more dressed, knowing we're going to be maybe viewing more, right?
I
Like
know. I'm
no
like, I
pajama
really was
pants on the
enjoying
bottom.
just the neck up, but now we have to think more about it. Like, I had to think about how do I leave my house now to record instead of just walk right into my home office.
Oh no.
So we're back in the discomfort.
Back always, there's always a new layer, and that's the most fun part for me is just like leaning in again and again and again and again and again.
We've probably said this before, but it's like the more I understand about our soul's evolution and learning, the more I realize it's just a spiral that
Mm,
you can revisit that same feeling, but now you have depth and understanding and hopefully more tools to
hmm.
deal with it and
Yeah.
move through it and accept it as a part of the human experience. So yeah, I did have some discomfort driving here of like, I don't, I don't even, I don't even have notes. I don't even know.
I know our setup is going to be different, which is so fun, but I just feel so rich and like this, like having the beautiful textures and the lights and the
Okay, and
colors and
appreciate for those of you viewing these velvet pink chairs.
so good. And we both are going to have our nice matching microphones now.
Oh my God, thank you. The mics are beautiful. Yeah. I also, it's not just the studio. We've talked a lot about the power of visualization in this whole idea of manifestation and in our efforts to find freedom and joy. We did a photo shoot as a part of our evolution.
Yes.
Tell
We,
me about that.
well,
I think it was your idea.
I mean, I feel like you always need really good photos no matter
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
doing. And that was, well, it was part of my struggle when I was trying to get our website up and all of our branding and everything is like trying, we
Right.
didn't have any good content together. We barely have any photos together as
It's
friends.
ridiculous. We spent 5 days in Costa Rica and got one selfie. Like
Ugh,
we
we were
don't
in the
have,
moment. I've
we
gotten
were,
really good at being in the moment, but it sucks for the photos, like just having nice
yeah.
captured memories. But yeah, so I mean, the photos are a necessity and they're so fun. I love photo shoots. I love outfits, getting dressed up, planning it. Like that's definitely my forte of I just enjoyed the whole process.
Well, yeah, and you did fashion in college.
Yes.
So you were the lead visualizing architect for a photo shoot. I don't enjoy it. I enjoy being in the moment in the photo shoot and seeing the result. But the preparation toward it is hard for me. My human design is I'm much better at responding to something than creating from a blank canvas. And that's where our yin and yang of our strengths play in because you can create the canvas using Canva. And it helped me to see and bring to light like the vision that you were having. And then we were finding the space and the vibe. And
And it worked out so perfectly.
oh my God, I can't wait. Y'all are going to start seeing more of them come through.
Yeah.
But y'all, like bubble guns, bubbles everywhere.
Mm. Just the colors. It's all so fun and high
Yeah.
vibrational. And yeah, I'm sure that we have more posted and ups by the time this comes out. But I just feel like we are getting a total brand upgrade right now.
It's a brand upgrade for others in the material world to see. And what I want to be honest about is that it's not fake or superficial. It feels like a literal upgrade in my body. Like I
Mm.
just had this moment just now, like full body chills, where I was like, of course we're in our own studio. What made me think we wouldn't get to this point?
Yeah. No, it is true. And it has been an evolution in my internal way I'm thinking of it as like, oh yeah, we're just giving this a shot. Oh yeah, we're just trying to be consistent. Oh yeah, wait, we have 30 episodes out. We have an editing team, studio, photo. Like whenever you line it all up, it sounds wild.
Wait, I'm running into people in local places in Austin who are like, I just listened to your podcast and here's what I'm doing now to be whimsical.
I love it. So
Like
fun.
then, because then that's the ripple. Like that's
It
you're
is.
like, wait, we are having, in the goal was to be our most aligned, authentic, fully expressed selves, to ripple that out, to create that momentum in the world, like be the change we want to see.
Yeah, and have you seen the graphs where it's like the waves come and then they go together, they hit and they come back and then it changes that. I feel like that's us right now. I feel like we put our wave out, it's rippled back, and now we're amplifying it to a new wavelength. So that's the energy I'm feeling about it.
Talk water to me. I'm a water sign. Oh my God, talk water to
Yeah.
me. Oh, that's a good visual. I see it. I see
Yeah.
it. And you know, I I really, when I was in my shit, when I hadn't had my real full awakening, when my nervous system was dysregulated, when I was in burnout, taking the next aligned step felt impossible. And I feel so practiced at having a calm nervous system regulated enough to be back in the uncomfortable. Like that's a new feeling. It's, or not new, but it's like a practiced feeling. And a friend gave me the book, The War of Art. Yeah. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield.
Not the art of war.
Correct. That,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not interested in any kind of war. I'm interested in art, but it feels sometimes like a war in your body as you're creating any kind of art, which our podcast is. But I love, like, he talks a lot about how the difference between people who wrote a book or want to write a book, or the difference between people who are painters or who want to be painters, is that they're disciplined enough to sit down and do it.
Andrew and I were literally having this conversation on our drive to the Greenbelt yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
Say more.
Well, we were literally talking. How did it get started? Because he's definitely going to write a book one day. I mean, we've talked about this. He's on his
I can't
own.
wait to push him now that I'm closer through the process, but keep going.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah.
started, he brought something up about, okay. You know, we had shared a reel that talked about how ants see humans as just like a mountain, right? Like, and then somebody had shared saying, what if aliens exist, but we just can't see them? Like, we can't perceive them with our own brain. So I had said, we were talking a little bit about that. He was like, oh, yeah, that's similar to a plot line in some of the like science fiction books and movies and stuff that I read and watch. And he said, if I ever write a book, I would include this certain thing in it. I was like, you mean when you write a book, you're going to include it? So anyway, we started talking about that. And then we literally were talking about writer's block and creative blocks and the Rick Rubin's book. I was like, well, we should read that together. We were talking about how we were going to have a book club together. Like, it was just this natural evolution.
Yeah.
We were literally talking about the block and even artists, because we love music. And we always talk about, you know, there's certain artists that make one-hit wonders, or they make one or two albums and they're like, I'm done. And there's different reasons for that, but some of them are like, I lost my creativity. And that really is that same creative connection. You just have to cultivate it and find your process and sit down and do it, right?
Yeah, and our friend Lauren, who also took our photos, who is an artist, she's living a life of artistry. She really challenged my thought because I don't like to be disciplined. Discipline is like not my thing. I'm a Gemini rising, so I'm always toward freedom. You can appreciate that as a Gemini sun. But she reframed it for me, instead of discipline, devotion. Like, so she was like, think about it in a different, pick a different D letter and like think of devotion. And when I would sit down to write my book, when it was literally like when I was in alignment, the flow really did happen. And I had to start thinking of myself as a best-selling author before chapter 2 was even written.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm having a download right now about this discipline thing.
Tell me.
Okay. So,
oh, the downloads hit different live.
They do.
I think I'm feeling it.
Okay. So when you said discipline, I was having this picture of like, well, yeah, we hear the word discipline and we see it as rigid and take the emotion out of it, right? And we don't want to take the emotion out of everything. And so when I was picturing discipline, I'm like, the emotion's gone. That's why we have this weird idea that discipline is bad. But really, discipline is good, and it's not devoid of emotion. Healthy discipline, devotion, is with emotion. My mind is blown because I
put that on a t-shirt. Healthy discipline is
with emotion.
With emotion.
And healthy discipline is devotion. Like, I trust that those are the same thing.
And then devotion and emotion.
Yes.
Creates motion, forward momentum.
Okay. Devotion is better, I think, a better word. Because I feel like devotion also includes love, and discipline doesn't always include love.
No, and I feel like so much has happened in society where the word discipline, which just meant to be you know, I'm not going to be able to consult Webster's right now, but like disciplining your children.
Right.
Like
it got co-opted by like having a bad outcome.
Correct. Like a consequence.
Not being disciplined.
Yeah. And
yeah, you're right. Okay. That's why it has such a negative connotation.
Yeah, and then you grow up with an abusive father and you don't want to be disciplined.
Not self-discipline.
Yeah. Because that self-flagellation, that like, I'm making myself do this, whether it's, I know people who shame themselves into working out.
Oh, 100%. There's a lot
disciplining
of
themselves.
Discipline with shame.
Disciplining
Yeah.
themselves into exercise.
Yes.
I mean, I've been there, and shaming myself into exercise just does not work.
No, not, it doesn't feel good.
Hmm.
Yeah, finding the intrinsic motive. You can't find the intrinsic motivation from it if you're operating from that underlying motivation. I've had to work through that whole thing
I
for
know.
sure. Yeah, I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
people do.
A lot of people, and especially women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So cool. So then I'm now thinking, pulling that thread, I'm now thinking, then the exact opposite of the birth of this podcast did not come from any discipline. It did not come from
Mm-mm.
any, we're shoulding all over ourselves of like, we should create a podcast or there's a checklist we're supposed to do. So, hey, do you want to be my partner in discipline or accountability to make a podcast? Like, we have in our founding documents, we will only record when we feel good and in alignment and want to have fun.
Yep. When it feels right. Not rigid rules, not about like podcast productivity or SEO traction numbers that the data says it has to do this certain thing. Like, just not gonna fly.
I also remember, if you don't mind me sharing this, was like I remember you having one little moment where you're like, okay, but wait, so the purpose of the podcast, is it going to help me sell something? I remember
Uh-huh.
we both were like, is it going to help each of our businesses?
Is that
Is
it?
that a
Yeah.
point? And then we had to zoom back out and be like, no, it's for joy and fun. And we have different stories, but in different ways, we felt our voices silenced or not, our moments where we weren't in our full
Mm.
authentic flow and essence. And we wanted that space.
Yeah. Well, and for me, I do work in a lot of not that creative day to day. And for
Mm,
me, this is a really nice, well-rounded creative outlet. Like this is creative. Photos are creative. Our topics are creative. Like all of it's creative for
yeah.
me. And I don't scratch that itch scratched fully from my like day-to-day work. Some of it is creative for sure, but not like to this level. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a fun addition for me. But yeah, like not having a direct line to like this is a tangible outcome I'm expecting. That
Yeah.
was kind of and it was really just my brain doing that thing where I'm always looking for what is what am I going to get out of
Well,
this?
yeah, because in a capitalistic
I
society,
know.
it's like, what are you doing toward this portfolio to make money?
How's this
How's
helping
this
you?
helping
Yeah.
you?
So it was really just my brain processing that little pattern
Yeah.
that is like baked in, but overcoming that because it's not what it's about.
It's not. And I remember reflecting on last year when we had about half the number of episodes, being like, this is the most fun thing I've done, like in my adult life. Like the
Mm.
podcast was being so fun
Mhm.
and so proud of it. And yeah, just leaning in. And, we're big fans of Abraham Hicks, and I was listening to something recently from her, and she must have had somebody in the hot seat that was wrestling with the idea of selfishness and seeking of their own joy. And she was trying to help them to break out the matrix and recognize that's a story, that you shouldn't be in your own joy. And she said something that really resonated with me. And the reason why I'm writing my book and doing what I do is she's like, I just want you for a second to realize that when there's pain in the world, when there's war, real war, when there's things, she's like, people are operating from a place of pain, insecurity, hiding from something. No one ever hurt anyone from a place of love. And she's like, if we're all in our highest joy, can you not imagine? And I'm like, that's my whole point. Like, if work were not a place of pain and we weren't trying to just like recover from our bosses or things, how much more joy could ripple out into the world? So that was the whole point, was us to like, where can we add joy in a world that no matter, well, it depends what you look for, but there's enough pain, and we're choosing.
And there is, yeah, absolutely. No, it's definitely just for the sake of creating from love and to learn, right? There was a lot of things we were exploring and
This.
and really wanting to dive further into. And I feel like we have, and I feel like it's even helped solidify a lot of viewpoints or
Hmm.
a lot of like we've been able to talk through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because there's things that I'm still working through as I continue on this evolved journey. And I appreciate that our community has held this space for us to work through them live. And
Hmm.
sometimes I'll listen back and I'm like, that was definitely a download. Like, I did
Oh yeah.
not have that idea before we started to record. So
Oh
it's like
yeah.
creating that container has been so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So Higher downloads. We are creating from a new place, always evolving. What else? What else is new? What's your latest high or download?
Well, I've mentioned it a couple times. My book is big. It's really big for me. It's so meta in the sense that I've done a lot of pattern work. We've done even episodes. You've, brought that in and the pattern work and yet every step of writing the book and learning how to publish it and all the things is revealing more and more opportunities back to the spiral to revisit hard feelings. Like, who do I think I am that I could put this out into the world? I saw someone today. I was at a coffee shop this morning and I, with all the conviction in the world, was like, I really believe that this book has been birthed through me and I'm going to be the next Brene Brown. And I had that slight moment of, did you just say that out loud? Did you just tell this woman with all the conviction in the world that who do you think? And then I caught it. And I got to practice exactly what I put in the book: stop, drop, and focus on my goal. My goal is to change the world, to shift the paradigm of leadership in organizations. And how am I going to do that from like a meek and mild place?
Absolutely. Okay, I love you're talking about this. I'm so excited for you. The book is going to be so epic and just one of many. Like,
Yeah, it does feel, yeah, it feels like the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning for sure. And what I love you talking about, that little voice that pops in your head, because I've been going back and forth about this voice for years. Because that voice comes into my mind pretty much anytime I do something visible.
Okay.
Like, it's that like be humble kind of voice,
Mm-hmm.
like what is
Yep.
going on. And I've had, from a spiritual perspective, done a lot of reflecting on I'm in meditation and I'm having downloads. They say one thing, right? And then I'm having a thought. And is this thought coming from the higher good? Is it coming from ego? Is it coming from culture, right? Like, it can be coming from a lot of places.
Yeah.
And I just had a spiritual medium kind of person that I was watching their content, and she very clearly, distinctly said, like, this voice, whenever you feel like you're on your higher path and you are coming from love and feeling that joy, that voice is your ego coming in to try to protect you.
Yeah. And then so my book is titled By Design: Leadership Reframed Through Neuroscience. And what I've learned about neuroscience and about that is when we connect our identity to something, say your job or a desire to be a best-selling author or a award-winning developer, right? Like, then your nervous system, you've given your nervous system a job, and it now has to move into surveillance mode because it has something to protect. Because its whole point is to protect you.
Protect you trying to achieve that.
And there's risk. There's no with a desire, with a goal, there's risk. Sure. You don't know. And so the whole idea of the nervous system is that it's trying to minimize the nervous system is your risk calculator.
Got it. It's trying to help you get there and also protect you.
Yeah, it's like I might have shared this, but my son was saying when he was trying the harder monkey bars at school, he was like, just if I think I'm in the classroom at school, I'm in the classroom and I'm just thinking about doing the monkey bars at recess, his palms get sweaty. And it was like freaking him out. And I said, that's because you've already prepared your mind and your nervous system and your brain that you're going to do something risky. And your nervous system is literally lubricating your palms so that you don't take the risk, so that it feels. And he's like, but then I'll slip and I really will hurt myself. And I'm like, isn't that the irony?
Yeah.
Like, your body's literally don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No, it really is. And I had, because I was taught, like, don't be out there, don't be like, be modest, be humble. That's the kind of like person everybody should be, right? That was kind of my upbringing and my story of like, that's the messages I got. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm like, I'm much more comfortable just being like, I'm good. I don't need to showboat or like whatever. But then I have these callings like you're talking about, like, being for you, being the next Brene Brown is your calling. It is your higher good. It is your purpose. It's your destiny, right? It's more than just like, this would be fun kind of
No, my soul, I am so clear. My soul came here for the evolution of humanity and to help break generational patterns, especially around how we identify with work and how we lead.
And not just in your conferences, not just in your boardrooms, like nationally, worldwide, whatever, right? Like way broader than that.
Yeah.
So like you're pursuing that, you're feeling excited about that. And then you have this instant like, I just said that out loud, and now you're kind of perceiving what the other person is
Yeah, you start
thinking.
to realize, well, how are they gonna understand? How are they
Yeah.
gonna? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's such a funny dance because it really, like, you can always come back to your truth because you've really sought that out. But I don't know how long I would have those kind of doubtful thoughts. Like, for example, why are you posting on social media? Like, you don't sell things on social media. Like, what's the
What's the
point?
point? I don't have a download
That's a
for
pattern
people
for
to.
me.
Yeah.
And like having that thought, like, why do you feel called to do that? That's dumb. Like it's for no reason, really. Like not really.
Right.
But I know that's just silly ego thing trying to say like, don't waste your time because I'm trying to protect you because you want to make money or grow your business or like do something else. And maybe this is a distraction, but it really isn't. It's just the ego trying to protect you.
Yes. And so the whole point about the book is now that I understand the nervous system, literally, the book's called By Design. It's like, I get so excited. Like, once I understood that design of our nervous systems, it was like I could really break that matrix thing in my brain of like, that's not who I am. That is a protective mechanism. Oh my God, this creates freedom. This creates choice. I can be the observer and I can make a choice. I don't have to be caught up in this swirl of storm of emotions. Like, wait, what? And then when I could realize that for myself, and I'm going back into organizations and watching all these other leaders operate from places of shame or ego, and I'm like, "Oop," I couldn't unsee it. And it was literally like the gift of my own journey and the gift from my guides, which I do believe I have several angelic spirit guides, was like the veil was lifted for me. And so my hope is that when I can have more people understand how we are designed as humans and the irony that God, source, universe, love, joy, whatever you call the higher source, designed us in our humanity to have desires and then to be literally wired to question them and keep us safe.
Mm.
And then how do we work through that paradox so we can enjoy and have this fulfilled one beautiful, precious wildlife?
The whole joy of the human
It
experience.
is
So
it's
complicated
yeah,
and worthwhile. Yeah. So
yeah.
fun. Okay. So highs, that's
So that's a
definitely a
high for
high.
me. It's a download because
Mhm.
every step of the journey is revealing something about me and how I orient to the world and what I hope to see in the world I want my son to inherit. So it's literally like my inner work and my outer work have meshed, like that wave analogy you just mentioned. And that is so beautiful and it's scary as shit. It's really scary to be like, wow, I am fully aligned and I am putting myself out there. So here we go. It's a high and a download and a wave to
Yeah.
navigate. And what's high for you? What's going on for you?
I just had my birthday.
Yay! Gemini
Yes,
season.
Gemini baby. And going and having the time around my birthday that I wanted. This year, I was like, I'm not really planning anything. We had a big party together last
Last
year. It was
year,
so
yeah.
fun. And I kind of go in like every couple years. Like I had a bunch of people out for like a dinner, like maybe like 3 years ago. And then I took a break. And then we did that last year. And I was like, I don't want to have a big party. Like I kind of ebb and flow
Hmm.
depending on how I'm feeling. And I really wasn't feeling I was feeling great, but just not in the really in the mood to plan that. And like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first half of
totally
this
fair.
year has been a little busy and just hectic and a lot of growth and just a lot of stuff. But what I found so fun is I feel like the universe gave me exactly what I needed, but like without me having to do anything. And so you were so beautiful and kind and like offered for us to have a little one-on-one. We went to the sauna and dinner, and that was just absolute perfection
It
and
was
lovely.
fun.
It was so fun. That was the night before, and my kids were out of town with my parents
That's
at
a
camp. So
gift.
that was a gift in itself. I had like a very chill week. So we did that, and then my husband cooked for me at home, and we just literally like didn't even start until like 5:30. We spent like 3 hours just cooking, and he did like
That's slow.
shallot and red wine and like just like stuff we wouldn't normally make, like duck fat
Ooh,
fries with
yeah.
like potatoes. Like it was amazing. And that was just perfection. Like we had such a good time. And then at my office, at my team, totally unexpectedly, I walked
Oh.
in, it's decorated. They're ordering in lunch and cookies, and we're having vouv. We're like toasting champagne at lunchtime. That's not how we usually operate.
Oh.
I just felt very loved. So that was really fun. But for me, I've been welcoming in more fun, more like heart
Yeah.
open stuff. And so for me to receive that much from everyone around me, I mean, I was just shocked. Um, because I had mentioned my birthday once, and then just to have so many people show up, like that was so beautiful. And my heart just felt very open. And then I really feel like going to that concert, the Lyft driver, I have quite a story from all my spiritual people. That Lyft drive experience was literally a gift. Like, and the concert was such a gift. So I just feel like I have been receiving, and today's what's today? Monday. So all this was the last, like, this was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, like just
Just
within the
recent,
week.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
within like 4 days. So I just feel like my exercise I have been doing of having my heart open and not having expectations and not being so as rigid and just like trying, just allowing has just brought in so much joy in the last few days that it's really given me that ripple effect of like, okay, okay, I can lean more into this. I can keep going. I can keep doing this because wow, this is just really fun to be surprised by everybody around me. But okay, couple tidbits from the Lyft driver.
I was like, you cannot leave
No,
people hanging. You have to share.
I'm gonna make this really short, but like random Lyft driver was we're going to a concert. I'm fairly certain was slightly judging us because we were going to a concert on a Friday night, and the first thing she talks about is how she just went to church to Catholic Mass for the first time in months or something, and that the devil was keeping her away, And then she said that she has some psychic abilities that she can read why certain people are taking certain rides and going and doing certain things. And she explicitly said, I can tell why people are going out and drinking and partying. And I'm like, oh, she's totally judging. But my heart, like, I was like, cool. Like, I do not, like, I was like, you already said some buzzwords for me. You have opened that door and I am cracking that thing wide open. So I was just like, this was right before, but I was like, how's your day? Or like, how's it going? And I do not usually talk to Lyft drivers, especially not when I'm here with my husband. Like,
No,
we're
when
like
I met you, no, this whole open-hearted centerness brings me joy because I remember at your daughter's birthday party when our kids were in like Montessori, I don't know what she was turning 3.
Yeah,
And I was like, God, I want to be your friend, but that's one of the most closed off people I've ever been around.
Yeah. And I would say
So
like
you made
most
so much
people,
progress.
yeah, like I could still totally be that way. But I was just in a mood and having, I guess it was all the different
You were
birthday
receiving in your
things.
heart,
Yeah.
your heart chakra. You were back to the rainbows
I
of your heart
was,
chakra. Yeah.
I was very open and wow, what a gift. So yeah, we start with the devil and going to church and some judging, but then she starts talking about her psychic abilities and about how she's had visions, and part of her visions, anyway, she cited seeing stained glass and with the certain red thing on it, and that was at the church when she went. And I was like, oh, homegirl has gifts.
Yeah,
Like
this is real. We believe these things.
yes. And I was very impressed that she wasn't demonizing her gifts because I feel like a lot of religious people like think that's the devil talking to them.
Correct. Yeah.
But she was very adamant that this was God talking to her in these gifts. But I will say a couple of peak moments were when she talked about how when she sleeps, she leaves her body.
Yeah.
About how she had a traumatic experience, left her body and went to her neighbor's house, and her neighbors talked to her. And I told her about how she needed to listen to telepathy tapes
because that's a big
they
thing.
talk a lot about that. Let's see, she's talked to many, many spirits, and this is my grand finale.
The best.
She was a baby dinosaur in a past life, and she remembers all of her past lives, but that one in particular, she remembers being a baby dinosaur and had reason. And I'm laughing because it was just so spectacular. I 100% believe her. Like, I'm not making fun of her. Like,
No.
It was a magical gift that I got to hear somebody share that so openly with me.
And I can guarantee you that she doesn't pick up rides where she would want to share that. So you were in a receiving state, and that vibrational match happens.
Just imagine the next time you're in a Lyft, who's driving that car? They might have this inside them that they just start sharing with you.
Might want to talk about past life regressions, their experience in the crustaceous ages.
Yes. Yeah.
Jurassic ages.
She actually said that her purpose at that point was that she was a dinosaur with reason. God had given her reason. And that because of that, he then decided that he had a new plan. And that's when he brought the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs.
That's cool. She was like on the cusp of that awakening.
She was there.
Which is probably why her soul chose to reincarnate now, because I believe we're on the cusp of another awakening. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, that was just a beautiful gift. Like, I got out of that lift and Andrew was so annoyed that she talked the whole time. Like, that is kind of annoying sometimes, but I was eating it up. And he was like, I let her keep talking because I knew you were loving it. And I was like, that was the best lift ride I've ever had in my life.
I'd like to believe that you were imagining me on your shoulder because you know I eat this stuff up and I tend to get these types of people and experiences. So I was like eating it up, getting your voice memo about the experience.
Mm-hmm.
It was really providing a lot of joy for me because I just think that a lot of people don't have space to be that fully authentic. Kind of full circle back to our whole point of doing higher
Absolutely.
downloads is like if we can take the risk to put ourselves out there and say some of the things that we believe and how we're moving through life or working through it, how does that energy reach other people so they can do that too?
Absolutely. And I got to drop several nuggets because it was very obvious that she felt alone.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
she
man.
didn't have community that had those gifts as well. So like I was definitely dropping nuggets of like Austin has a lot of people that can do this. You just gotta, connect with them and telepathy tapes and other resources and things. So
So many resources.
you just never know. But what I have come to find is that everybody has a little something, whether they believe in aliens or they believe in the universe or law of attraction or whatever past lives, like everybody has a little bit in there. It's just whether or not they're being open about it. And what I find fun is just opening that can a lot wider through this podcast and just through conversations too, and exploring that and finding those little nuggets that are everywhere, but people aren't always so open about it.
I couldn't have said that better myself. I feel the exact same way. And I think, yeah, for me, it also, because I can read energy, it's almost like when I'm talking to someone like that, I can tell a thickness of the energy of how much
Mm.
conditioning they have to overcome in order to share. And yeah, I'm really glad that she met you and was able to do that in one space. And I bet she followed up on at least one of those threads.
They planted a seed
The seed has
one
been
way or
planted.
another.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's it, right? Like, it's just this moment of reflection where we realize I love hearing from our audience and I love hearing like what that does for you. And so if you are looking for a sign that you wanted something, you've been feeling that desire, ask more, lean in more, and take the next tiniest first action you could possibly do, even if that's inviting your friend to a sauna to discuss this crazy idea. Because it's like, wow, look at us, look where we are now. And then this is not the destination.
Mm-mm. Oh
But
no.
what a fun mile marker.
It is. It is a really, really fun spot to be at. So
And thank you for being along the ride with us, community, and more to come, way more to come. So
until next time,
trust your higher
trust your higher
download.
download. You just experienced another higher download. We are so grateful you joined us on this journey.
Yep. So if you're feeling that high vibe energy and want more, subscribe wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if this episode sparks something in you, we'd be over the moon if you'd share it with someone who might need this download too.
Yep. Connect with us on Instagram at Higher Downloads, where we share more behind the scenes magic and some bonus content.
You can also find full episodes, transcripts, show notes, and resources at higherdownloads.com.
Until next time, trust your downloads and keep vibrating higher.